Hello, you lovely people. Day 7 of Jumpstart January. We are moving swiftly through this, guys. So in the end of week 1, and today we are going to be doing some abs, a little bit of arms, but it's mainly going to be core centric. So let's crack on, shall we? So we're going to start with a nice and easy one, but this one you have to really use your mind to think about what muscles are working to actually get the benefit. Often with exercise, if we don't really think about what we're recruiting and how we're recruiting it, we're just moving through the motion without really maximising the benefit. So with this one, I really want you to think about, you've got a group of muscles that sweep around. They're almost like your corset muscles that come around the sides and down in towards your pubic bone. And those are your obliques. They come underneath the rib cage and round. They are your obliques and they are your transverse abdominals, and basically they are what give you that nice tucked in waist and really add that stability around the low back. And so to do that, start with that, what we're going to do is some star crunches. We're going to do 31 on each leg because I really want you to focus on getting this nice and strengthened in that area. So all we're doing is bringing your right knee up to your right elbow and back down. And you're going to do that for 31 times. Ooh. And really, really envisage those muscles there doing the work, doing that crunch as you do the exercise. So 31 on each side, really good also for balance. Another one for the balance. So really focus on using that core to keep you nice and stable. 31 on each side. So it might be a bit timely, a little bit boring, but keep going and get your 31 because then you're done. The second one, we're going to move into some toe dippers. So those of you who did remember with me, you'll have done this before. You're going to come down onto your back. The key with this is to keep that core nice and neutral. Don't let the back arch loads as the legs tip down. So we're going to start with our legs in a tabletop position, comfy, and then hands out to the side, and then you're going to slowly, hi Brew, come here baby girl, come here. Somebody thinks it's playtime, good guy in your bed. So holding those legs, we're going to slowly tip that toe down and come back up to neutral, and then down and back up to neutral and down. Now to make this harder, you take the legs further away from the body, but the key is that you don't just collapse the foot. The angle between the lower leg and the upper leg stays the same throughout. So to make it easier, the knees come in, or you work with one foot on the floor and do one leg at a time, or have both legs up but the knees further in, so it's a little bit easier. To make it harder, that box leg extends outwards and then you go from there. Woo! And you will feel that. But again, the key is to not let that tummy arch. Think about your lower abdominals here. Those are what are holding these legs up. So really think about those contracting and that belly button is driving down towards that floor, keeping that spine nice and neutral. So those are your toe dippers. We're going to do 16 on each leg, so 31 in total. 32, sorry, in total. Third exercise, Russian twists. You can weight these if you would like. If not, you can do it with nothing. But instead of wanging around side to side, those of you who've done Russian twists before, I want you to do them really, really slowly. A really slow and controlled twist. So again, mid-phase challenge, hand out, twist, back, twist, back. Don't drop that necessarily all the way down. Keep your shoulders nice and level and do the twist from there. To make it harder, you can raise the legs off the floor. Woo. To make it easier, you sit more upright. Alternatively, to make it harder without lifting the legs, you just take it way lower, which again is really hard, especially with weight. And also the weight is optional, so you don't need that. So Russian twist, 16 either way. With this again, keep that core nice and strong so your back and your spine stays nice and neutral and there isn't any sagging. When we get this sagging, we're not using those lower abdominals as much as we would like. We're relying on the big sort of central rectus. We want to really recruit those smaller abdominal muscles. So keep that spine nice and neutral as you do your twists. The fourth exercise, can't remember. Oh, the fourth exercise was side plank hip dips. So we've done this before. Well, we've done something similar before. You're going to come onto your side, hand up into the air. So before we did these arm raises like this, we are now going to add a dip of the hip and then a raise. Dip of the hip and raise. And again, 16 on either side. If you were to look at me front to back, I'm in a dead straight line, head, hips and ankles. There's no buckling of the body. There's none of this. There's none of that. It's nice and neutral as you go up and down. 16 on either side. To make it slightly easier, all you do, remember, is drop that knee and then you use the hips like that. All right, 16 either side of those. And then the last one is very simply, she says, a 31-second plank hold. So with your plank, you're going for a nice neutral spine, but with the shoulders rolled back and down. The hips are not too high and they're certainly not sagging. And if you need to break it down into 3 sets of 10, whatever. But I want you to hold that plank with a really, really good form throughout your whole time. If you feel that sag coming into play, take a pause and then reset when you've got a little bit more juice in the tank again. So those are your 5 for the 7th day of Jumpstart January. Week 1 done. My naughty rascal puppy will, I'm sure, be joining me now for my day 6 leg workout. Anyway, nice to speak to you all. I'll speak to you all soon. Let me know how I get on. Bye.